Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Thatcher and Daren Doctorman, the Weirded Weirdos.
Here we are.
Welcome back, friends.
Wow.
We're heading into the fall. I'm feeling
All the friends are gone now. You scared them away.
all the friends and
Good
fiends.
job. Hello, my dear fiends.
The
Welcome back.
Paul Free's evil laugh. Thank you. Welcome back to you, sir. And I seem to be incredibly blurry. I don't know, like my blur cam is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe, hopefully, the viewers can just attribute to their
They can thank
their drunkenness.
Thank their lucky stars that I'm blurry, because you don't want to see me in full high def.
Oh, no.
It's terrifying. Well, some do.
Some do.
Now I'm Cookie in a Western. This hat's pretty, like, yeah, sure, the grub's ready. Marshall did. Okay, now I'm a Quaker Oats box.
Now you're on the Quaker Oats box. And
welcome, friend. Eat my oats. It's fun. It's not funny if you're just listening. You got to watch the video.
You got to see the video.
I'm playing.
Please join us. Join us on YouTube if you haven't already. Weirded Beardos on YouTube.
Yeah, we have 100 people who watch. Doesn't that get us $1 or something?
Nope. Not until we're at 1,000. Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, the answer to everyone's question is yes, I've been thinking about doing these episodes by myself, but not just yet.
I've been thinking about doing by myself.
Go right ahead.
We could just have one beardo.
We'll just call it the Weirded Beardo.
Yeah, there you go.
And alternate.
Let's grow the channel.
No, that wouldn't be fun.
We could talk about our favorite hobbies by ourselves.
By ourselves.
It is weird. I do watch a lot of YouTube, and there's a lot of guys who just sit there and blather.
And just yap. Yeah.
When and some of them really annoying, but you kind of love to hate them. And there's one guy I can't watch at all. I realized, I thought he was just talking about politics and kind of interesting, weird stuff. It turns out he's some religious-based thing, and it's all about God's plan and whatever. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, not that I have a problem with anyone's religious beliefs, but when everything's looked at through that filter, I'm like, okay, well, that's...
Yeah, the guy's name is Jesus?
That's your opinion, man.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Like your opinion, man. I'm telling you, Walter. So you've been doing a bunch of Trexpert stuff.
Yeah, we've been going across the country and traveling, and
good word, brother.
You joined us at Las Vegas.
Las Vegas,
which was a lot of fun.
You had a blast. Got to see some friends,
and some not friends. What? No, they're all friends. Everyone's friends.
I will say, so my lovely friend Heidi came along, and she was duly impressed with how kind and open and welcoming just all Trek fans are. At least that convention, she was just like, everyone was so accepting. There's people in wheelchairs with obvious physical and mental issues. And
yeah, it's funny how different from online life actual fandom is. Because online Trek fans are not welcoming and accepting. But in real life, everyone is.
Is that because the trolls don't come out because they just stay at home?
Maybe.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, it's so easy to take pot shots, from the comfort of your mom's basement. I think there's a 3 or 4 talking about people just sitting there ranting. There's a show, Nerdrotic.
Sure.
The guy's got kind of, I don't know if he's Scottish or he's got kind of a weird gravelly voice, and he just seems to hate everything. He there once in a while there's something, but he mainly kind of, it's all big, superhero movies, that kind of Star Wars, Marvel, DC. It's an interesting, we both have, those guys make money, man. They have millions of followers, at least 1 million followers. So I don't know how much clothes I'd have to take off to get 1 million followers. Okay, if you give me $1 million,
you're thinking wrong.
I am
the wrong
tree.
Cookie. No one wants to see Cookie.
Cookies chili recipes every week. I'm going to give you a new chili recipe. Some with beans and some without beans.
No one wants to see Cookie's beans. I'll leave it at that.
That is a channel. Cookies Beans.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Wow.
Or the Amish Elder. Hello,
Yeah.
English.
It's 4:30. Time for milking.
Time for milking. Where's Hans and Gurma?
Careful out there among the English.
I'm growing this beard out. I'm going to go back to my more svelte goatee, but I want to do this. Actually, something I want to do is this Santa Claus idea I have.
Santa Claus idea?
Yeah, I have this idea of a character named Santa Claus. A YouTube channel of me as Santa. With, I don't want to give it all away because some fucker who got a beard is going to steal it. Oh my god!
Telling everyone to go to hell.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I've been growing it out, and I actually might scan myself in some way or film myself and turn myself into an AI realistic version of me, but Santa Claus it out a little bit, so I don't have to keep this beard all year round.
I see. So you're going to take the coward's way.
No, just use digital. Consider it digital makeup.
I see. Well, that's exciting. Well, you could call yourself the Anti-Claus.
I like that. Isn't that Krampus? Well, Krampus
completely.
It's like in the universe, there's balance. Hey, speaking of balance in the universe, have you been watching the new season of Peacemaker?
I have not, because I don't like it.
You don't like Peacemaker? What's wrong with you? Who hurt you? Were you clawed out by an eagle when you were young?
DC hurt me.
I gotta give James Gunn props.
Let's not.
No, I like what he's doing. It's different than the guys in tights who take everything seriously and dark. Peacemaker's really good. So we've got one thumb down, but I love it. If you are all interested, and you didn't watch Doom Patrol, we've talked about this before, but you were not.
No.
Because they're doing some fun, goofy. It's not just like, I've got to save the world.
I'm not a fan of anti-heroes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you like Superman then?
I love Superman. He's not an anti-hero.
No. I know.
Oh.
I'm saying you like the antipodes, which would be Superman or Green Lantern.
That's correct.
Did you like the new Superman movie?
I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. I thought it was fine. I just thought there was too much stuff in it.
I kind of like the new characters because I knew who Green Lantern was and Hawkgirl, but she was kind of a waste of time. Like she screams and wields a hammer. Yeah. She can fly.
I mean, if I want to see a woman screaming at me, I have real life for that.
Yeah, but trying to scream at you, but can she fly? I mean, it's sort of you're watching, you're like, so she flies and wields a hammer. Okay, is that really considered super at that point? Considering she's got Guy Gardner and Superman, and
I don't know.
Fantastic. I don't know.
It's odd. Look, I liked the guy playing Superman. I thought he was good.
I didn't like him in the posters or the trailers. I'm like, I didn't hate him. I was just like, I don't buy him. But I thought he and Lois relationship, great. That was
great. She was great, and I just thought everything was a little too too jammed together and too aware of itself.
Yeah, but that's sort of James Gunn. There's always.
I know that's what I don't like about it.
Right. I know. That's what I do like about it because I'm like, come on, let's not pretend we don't know. This is a comic book movie. I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. We have differing opinions. We can't be friends anymore.
Fine.
I'm moving.
All right, fine. Thanks. Obviously, I don't like Superman at all. Oh, look at my shirt.
Oh, I thought that stood for shithead.
No, it stands for hope.
I made a swear. What do you think about the retcon that I thought it was cool that he was sent there? The rest of the transmission is you will rule them and destroy them because you are going to be more powerful than anybody. Yeah. It was fun. That's what I mean.
It's fun. It doesn't really mean anything. I like.
It meant something to that story and to who Superman is, and with that knowledge. And the whole thing about, like, I'm adopted, so that stuff really cuts deep for me when it's like...
And your parents told you to kill people?
No, the people who made me were evil aliens who wanted me because I'm so smart and amazing. They said you can rule this planet, and I only found that out when I found out who my biological father was, like 2-3 years ago. So the people who raised me are my parents, and they crippled me with this feeling of like I need to be helpful and kind. And so it's too late now. I'm fucking Santa Claus, where I could have been Lex Luthor, Mr. Luthor. I have ADHD, so I apologize for the randomness of this rant.
You practically have AD 4K.
Yeah, nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the conceptual comedy of Dr. Daren. So we were kind of leading into what I wanted to talk about, which was
franchise fatigue.
Yes, franchise fatigue, and having both of us worked on things that were franchised or are franchised. What's the solution? Is it less is more? I think that's part of it. I would say Marvel did really well up through Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I agree.
I think TV is not helping. I think there's and I love the guys at Marvel, and I'm very sort of like and Pixar. That's the other one.
Yeah,
I've known those guys since they were 8 guys at ILM. And the one thing that they all have in common, except for Star Trek, is Disney.
Well,
buy a franchise, milk that
Disney
cow.
bought all these IPs that were supposedly in line with things that boys would like, and they took the boys out of it.
Well, yes, they're look. Go to Nerdrotic to hear hours of days of rants about how what they call the Marvel. What do they call it?
The MCU.
Yes, the MCU and Star Wars. And again, is it? I don't care if there's female characters. I mean, I
don't either.
But
I just care if they usurp the male characters in favor of the female characters just to do that.
Well, yeah,
and that's what they've done. They turned Luke Skywalker into a lame-ass character when he was already a lame-ass character.
Wasn't he called Wormy in the original script?
Yeah, that's his nickname on Tatooine.
Yeah, Tatooine. This Biggs called him Wormy. I mean, that made sense.
He was Terry the Toad.
I was just going to say he was Terry the Toad.
Yeah.
Just a little better looking.
Well, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not throwing shade at...
Not after the car accident.
Well, God, you're harsh, bro. They didn't botch it too bad. He just had a little bit of it.
I just spout truths.
I was at it. I speak the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, truth speaker Daren Doctorman.
Hello, I'm the truth speaker.
Speak your truths. So Disney is, well, anyone who's worked with them, usually, that's my joke, is I got a job working for Disney, and everyone goes, I'm sorry. And it's
it's always been like that.
Yes.
It's always been like that. I mean, there was a point, in the late 80s, early 90s when I started working for them, that, everyone joked that, oh, you're working at Mauschwitz.
Mauschwitz, yeah, that was a nickname forever.
Yeah.
Look, part of it is it's a corporation with shareholders, and corporations tend to always act that way. Let's get everyone to work for free and do all the work in the world. And I learned pretty much by the end of the 90s. See, I was very fortunate. The Star Wars, when I started on Jedi, I was just happy to be there. They paid me $80 a day for 10-hour day. It was $8 an hour or something. It was crazy, but I didn't care. And then, but it was a group that ILM at that point had existed for like 7 years. And so kind of the jerks had either been weeded out, or everyone kind of said that guy's a jerk, but he's really good at what he does. And then I went, when I worked for Chris Wallace, who was a good pal. And so that was fine. And then I went to Star Trek, which again, they'd worked together for 25 years at that point, which is crazy. To me, like when I was working on Star Trek, like, oh God, that TV show was on so long ago.
Yeah.
It was
now it's like yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 15 years before. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It ended in 68, and I started working on it in 84, 85.
Right.
So yeah, it was crazy. It wasn't even 20. Yeah.
Not even 20 years yet.
20 years. And it seemed like a century ago.
Yeah.
And they were all, again, they're working on their third and fourth movies.
Right.
Harv and Leonard had a thing, and all that had been ironed out. Gene got his cut and left him alone. And then I went to the Henson Company. So I've had this very fortunate career of working with basically, quote unquote families, or at least groups that
Right.
have worked out how to work together. Where, having done some freelance stuff, you realize how many jerks are out there. And Disney's one of them. They don't, they say you're part of the, I mean, they've got the best PR for like, it's
Right.
a wonderful world and everybody's happy
Yeah.
and it's the happiest place on earth. But their business affairs are monsters.
Yeah.
And they don't care about creative people. It just seems to, every time they buy a franchise, at least the 3 that I worked with, it slowly over time gets crappy. And partly I think is because they don't really understand or respect creativity. If you make something that makes $1 billion, they will respect you because you made them $1 billion.
Right.
Then there's a little bit of like, well, you can do what you want. But again, I've told the story about how they treated Gore Verbinski
Right.
on Pirates too, and they just don't care. Like, well, why would we give you more money? Well, because I just made you $1 billion movie. Yeah, screw you.
Well, it's funny. There was a big story in what was it, Variety last week, about how Disney is now actively searching for IP that boys would like.
The Tonka truck movie. Yeah.
I mean, you had the most huge boy IP ever.
Yeah.
And
well, and there's 2 of them, really.
It's like,
Star Wars and Marvel.
These new toys, I broke them. Do you have any more toys I can use? No.
Because they hire people like J.J. Abrams and give them the like. That's a guy. Look, I met him once. He was a jerk. I'm sure he's lovely to people that he likes, and I met him at a social event, and he was just like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay, nice to meet you too.
Just because he didn't remember you as the punk on the bus.
No, I literally didn't. I just was like, hi, and he was like, okay. And this was a thing where we had mutual friends. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't get why they kept giving, that was mediocre, make another one. And then, when he makes his own thing, it's, again, not talking about him as a human being, although when I met him, he was kind of a jerk. But I don't get why they go, I guess he's just, I was watching a YouTube thing about psychology, and if you have confidence, people tend to, and Hollywood is
they give you the benefit of the doubt every time.
Hollywood and politics are filled with people who, if you exude confidence, people tend to go, I guess this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And, which is also, what is it, the Peter principle? The more you're convinced you're right, the farther away you are usually from the target.
Right.
If about everything, obviously there's people who know things and like, I know for sure that this, but the, a lot of politicians are that way. I'm not going to point out anyone.
Well, showbiz is politics.
It is, politics is showbiz. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. If you were going to fix Disney, first of all, I think you would have to put someone in charge, or at least, the Igers of the world, they have to run the machine. But then, let's just talk about Pixar. Because I love Pete Docter, but he's not in love with that job. He took it because they know they needed a figurehead. But I think Disney is kind of running the show. Whereas John Lasseter, for good or for bad, was a strong, voice.
And a strong leader. Yeah.
And he could push back. And Pete's one of the nicest people in the world, which may be why it's a tougher job for him.
Yeah.
Because I think the Disney people just are nefarious and will go, and then and people are like, what's happening to Pixar? What's happening to Star Wars? What's happening to Marvel movies? And again, part of it is
the same thing.
Right.
It's that the management, who are not necessarily creative people, think they are creative people.
Oh my God. I saw that firsthand with a franchise I was very close to, where people who were literally accountants were now producers and giving notes.
Yeah.
And they've slowly weeded out everyone who ever worked with the creator. I was one of the last people. Dave Goelz is the last person who actually worked with Jim Henson.
Right.
I was one of the second to the last people. There's Jane Gutnick, who's the puppet, and they just kind of, oh yeah, well, you're not an employee anymore. We'll just hire you when we need you.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks so much.
yeah, and we'll take it from here.
Yeah.
And now it's run by marketing people, and that's the same thing on.
And they're not doing anything.
I will say Marvel is run by creative executives. Kevin Feige, knows what he's doing. I think they were given the mandate to just make more. Everything you're doing, everything you touch turns to gold. And then they started, trying different stuff. And I mean, I didn't watch Ironheart, but I hear it was, I don't even, I can't watch everything they put out now.
Right.
I will say they're taking risks, but they're sometimes odd risks. I'm really curious. My friend Brian, who was producer on Werewolf by Night, just did a series called, oh gosh, it's like, sorry, I'm going to butcher. It's like Mr. Wonderful, or it's kind of a Family Guy series about a superhero, but he's got a wife and kids.
Right.
What is it called? It's coming out, I think, pretty soon. So I'm curious to see how that is. And another friend of mine's doing Vision. Which again, that had such a great lead in with WandaVision. I think that has high hopes around it. But also now everything is scrutinized. Don't buy, the evil fanboys who are like, well, they didn't get this right. And I'm just like, let them do stuff. But then they do Ironheart, and people are like, and I guess part of the problem there was, from everything I've heard, and this isn't from insiders, this is just watching YouTube people who talk about it. But the same thing that happened with Snow White, the lead gal just was a nightmare.
Right.
And just, if you put all your hopes on this, and it's not like she's a woman, it's just her personality. And I understand, young actresses who suddenly get power and they want to wield it.
I mean, I don't blame them, but
Well, and it's hard. The whole machine is difficult, and when you are the point of the pencil that's spending that much money, I'm sure it freaks you out. I mean, just directing something that costs $8 million, I always get nervous. Like, and imagine being the lead in something that we're going to spend $8 million an episode, and we're making 10, like Goobly or whatever.
Well, it's the problem with corporatization, and that they have to be, they have to answer to people who don't know how the business works.
Well, and because corporates are terrified of failures. I mean, look at Jim Henson. Yeah. If he had been bought by Disney in the 80s, they never would have made Dark Crystal or Labyrinth. Or the question is, would they have brought someone else in? And those things were failures. I mean, they were interesting and creative. Creatively, they were failures, but financially, they were, because they were just so weird. So that's the thing.
But they're heralded as artistic masterpieces.
Well, now. Of course, because they took a chance and did something unusual.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is with Disney. Is and I don't know if it's because Jim Henson didn't have stockholders. He's just like, I want to do this, and so the risk reward thing is what, and it makes sense if you're a bean counter. You're like, well, put John Cena in it, so we know it's a hit because kids love the John Cena.
Kids love John Cena. Yeah. No, it's the corporate mentality that you're just making widgets, right? And every widget is the same, and it doesn't matter who's doing it. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just a product. It's just content, and it doesn't matter. And it's that mindset that is screwing over Hollywood.
Well, and the lack of trust because of the risk of creative individuals. I mean, again, they'll give it to J.J. Abrams proved it with, I guess, Lost or Alias TV series, and suddenly, they give him Star Trek and they give him Star Wars, and you just go like, okay, why?
Yeah, I mean, certainly after Star Trek, why would anyone give him anything?
Well, they gave him another one. They gave him 2.
It's insane. It's insane.
Well, I don't know how you fix it. I mean, they don't want to give. I mean, Ryan Coogler, they gave him a shot, and he did great. And then he made Sinners, which was great. It's like, okay, but he did Sinners on his own. He didn't want. I think, he just basically give me money, let me do it.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have been made with oversight.
And that's the thing is like, I know Ron Perlman has been promoting something. I don't know if you've seen those emails or those ads. He's putting together sort of like a Legion M, where they get financing. I've been on their mailing list, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
get in early, buy your $500,
All I've seen regarding Ron Perlman are these cats that look exactly like him.
Yeah, he does have a look. But he's got some. Probably you can Google it. He's trying to do like a fan, very much like Legion M, a fan based where the people who are, and I've thought of versions of that where it's basically a Kickstarter. I think they're doing Kickstarter kind of thing to get money to promote creators, like the Guillermo del Toro's, but Guillermo's pretty good at getting money from the machine. And I think YouTube, it all comes back to just put your shit on YouTube, and if people like it, you'll get attention. But I don't know how you fix the Disney thing, because they'll just keep cranking out sausages, and they are too afraid to let anyone take too big a risk. I mean, all you hear from the creators, and including, at Marvel, like the Kevin Feige's and the Brad Winterbaums, are like Disney's, oh, you can't do that. That's too weird. And then when there is an agenda, like we want more, female driven stuff. And I don't know if the market was asking for that, or if they felt like, well, equal time, which I kind of get. Like, what are we doing for girls?
Well, the thing is, they had huge stuff for girls. I mean, Disney was known as a girl-oriented,
right, exactly, which is why they bought Star Wars and Marvel. Like, we need boy stuff, and they're like, oh,
which is why they tanked what's his name on Mars?
John Carter.
John Carter, yeah.
They tanked it? Well, that movie had problems.
Well, it had problems, but their marketing drove it into the ground.
Right.
First of all, by taking out the word of Mars.
Mars, yeah, I know, just John Carter, and that was dumb.
Yeah.
Well, again, marketing people. That's John Carter's a whole thing.
That's a whole
thing. I loved the source material, and I was like, I was really excited. And visually, they nailed it. I thought it looked amazing. But it just kind of went. And again, I think there was creative input from the studio.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've heard that with directors I really admire. Brad Bird, when he did Tomorrowland, just got beat up. And you're like, Brad Bird does not know how to make a bad movie. He's so good.
He figured it out, though.
Well, I think he had a lot of help from you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And I'm ultimate respect for both those directors, Andrew and Brad. And I think, that's a case where let's take Leonardo da Vinci and tell him, no, we don't want a flying machine. We want rollerblades, because the kids love the rollerblading. You're like,
Can you take this flying machine design and put some wheels on it?
Can it go in the water? Maybe it should go underwater. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Disney, I guess their stock has kind of been flat because they spent a lot of money on these franchises and then kind of run them into the ground.
Huge losses this year.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, yeah. What's who's doing it right? Let's put it that way. Who's letting the creatives run it? I can't think of anybody at that level.
For a while, because they work with lower budgets, I think Blumhouse was doing a good job.
Well, yeah, I met with
their creatives,
and I met with them, and they're like, if you can do it for under $3 or $5 million, we basically let you make your movie.
Yeah,
we're gonna hammer you on the script, and then you go make your movie, and then we'll look at it in editing. But yeah, if you could do, it was like Quentin Tarantino said, if you can make a movie for $5 million or less, they sort of leave you alone because it can't possibly fail. Even just back then.
But they won't greenlight a movie for $5 million or less.
No, well, there's the insanity.
That's the problem.
Well, and I faced that at the Henson Company when we pitched a movie to Sony, and they go, "We love the idea," and I was going to be the director, going to co-write the script, and they're like, "But the exec at Sony," and you're like, "It's Bizarro Land." Well, I know you, with your background, you could totally do this movie for $25 million, but they're going to look at me like I'm crazy to do a movie like this for 20. It was a parody of Lord of the Rings kind of movie,
right?
And they're like, there was a movie that came out. That sort of played with it. Danny McBride was in it, and Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
that's your first mistake.
Yeah, I like Danny McBride. I like his stuff. I mean, anyway, so she's like, we can't. I think I've told this anecdote. It's like we can't they will never let you do it because they don't believe you can make a movie like this for $25 million. But isn't that the thing? Is like, oh no, if they love the script, then they will bring in. They will say, well, we got to do it with ILM and yada yada, and it's $80 million, and they won't let you direct an $80 million movie because you've only done movies that are under 10. I'm like,
yeah,
but. Huh? She's like, yeah, that's the way the business is. And so, I mean, that's just, again, CYA with bean counters. Like, well, who's done?
I used to be repped by CYA.
That'd be a funny name for it. Creative Young Associates, CYA.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. We got a premise for our next film.
So
under $5 million.
Well, yeah. So Blumhouse, but they make. I guess they've had hits that they've made like threequels from, even.
Yeah.
Like, Insidious, stuff like that. But I mean, they have that niche.
But that's still a genre where you can get away with doing cheaper movies, and people will still go see them.
Well, like Sam Raimi and well, even James Gunn came from that. I mean,
long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he came up through Lloyd Kaufman's company, Lloyd Kaufman's outfit.
Full Moon.
No, not Full Moon. Well, he might have worked with Full Moon. Lloyd Kaufman is the guy, Trauma.
Trauma, right.
Trauma, yeah. Working with Lloyd Kaufman's outfit. Got them budgets. But I like, at least James Gunn is sort of the example where they went, we're going to give a creative person who's proven himself up, through the ranks. He wasn't some Nepo baby. We're going to give him the whole freaking franchise and see what he does with it. And I love Peacemaker. I thought Superman was good. We'll see what else he does. I think at least there's a vision there as opposed to marketing like, oh.
No, vision is Marvel.
I ought to pwn you. So, yeah. We'll see what he does over at Warner's.
It's a tough thing because I think the whole system needs to be revamped.
Well,
so that they can start making cheaper movies again,
right?
And make more movies, because that's how it used to work, where they had various tiers of movies, but those aren't there anymore.
Right, it's either under 10 million or 100 million. There's no middle ground. Rom-coms are gone now. Whether rom-coms deserve to exist or not, but even the bro-coms, like the Judd Apatow films, like Hangover, they're not making those either.
Nope.
If they do, they go straight to streaming, like Will Ferrell and what's his name did their Christmas comedy. In the Kurt Russell Christmas comedy that they're doing on Amazon and Netflix.
Right.
It's fine. I mean, again, if you can, and those movies weren't like $8 million movies. They spent money on them. But I don't know. I mean, the whole question is Netflix or Amazon? I mean, Amazon's kind of like Apple. It's almost like that's a thing we do because we like it.
Right.
Jeff Bezos likes movies, and Apple does it. I don't even know if it sells Apple TVs or anything.
From everything I've heard, Apple is another company that lets the creatives do their thing.
But you have to have, I remember, because I met with them when they first started.
Yeah.
And they were like, Apple, letting creators do the thing. We've got, it was like Steven Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey and like J.J. Abrams, like all these huge names. Like, oh, yeah, so you're exactly like every other studio. And they were. I remember I went in and was pitching something with Henson. They're like, we want your best idea. What's your best idea? I'm like, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas. And they're all good. I mean, let me make one. Yeah, but what's your best idea? Fuck you.
That can only be determined after they're made.
That's what I mean. You can't. Yeah, that's the problem with being creative. Like, all my ideas are good.
No one knows. No one knows nothing.
Right. Nobody knows nothing to this business. So I don't know. Apple is still kind of a Tiffany network where it's like, well,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. I just watched Murderbot, most of Murderbot.
Yeah.
And I know it was based on a book, Code Red or Everything's Code Red or something. I like the premise. I like the cast. The one thing, the premise, right? It's a it's a security bot that gets overrides its governor.
Right. He becomes sentient.
Autonomous. Well, it's sentient already, but so the gag, I guess, in the book is that his attitude, he's like, really, like, fuck these clowns. Like, I don't know what I'm, yeah, I would, and he's very cynical, which I like, but it kind of goes against its own premise. It's like if it's a synthetic human, great, Blade Runner, that has a governor that won't let it, then there's just some stuff that makes no sense. Like, why does it have a human face? Like, it doesn't need a human face. Okay, it's and that was essentially like it's human brain cells that have been grown, and it was enough suspension of disbelief to enjoy it.
Right.
But at least they took a swing and did something different based on a book. Not an original idea, but at least I guess a successful book series or book. And it's a fun idea. Again, it's Blade Runner meets it's Leon from Blade Runner,
right?
Who's and the whole corporate system is fun, and how there's the off corporate planets where they don't get government subsidies, and then there's the corporation that's trying to protect its interests. I don't know. I enjoyed it, and I thought the cast was really good. Very, nobody you've seen before except Skarsgård, right. Which was great. You buy them as the characters, and some fun twists. Have you watched? Yeah, have you watched any of it or no?
I watched the first episode.
I did too, and I made myself watch the next 3 or the next 2, going, yeah, I got to give them 3 to get into it. The first one, is always like, what's the setup?
It's always, where am I? What are you doing? Yeah.
Right. So, and what's the tone? It's so much about tone. And I think that one, they're walking a tricky line of like his sort of sarcasm and wit as essentially being that just got autonomy. But yeah, you just have to kind of buy the ticket and take the ride. You can't question it too much.
Everyone's saying how bad streaming is, but I don't really think that way. I think there's a lot of really good things that have come out because of streaming. Yeah. Among them, the 3 Body Problem. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's very serious science fiction done in a relatively accessible way.
Yeah,
and it's engaging, and it's complicated. It makes you think. They're on season 2 that's coming out in a couple months, I think.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this is real heavy sci-fi. Like, it's not girls in bikinis with laser pistols. It's unfortunately, yeah, we could use more of that. I want to see the accurate version.
Those are 3 bodies that I'd like to see. I
want to see the R-rated version of John Carter of Mars, where they're dressed exactly as he described them, which was in nothing except some
right.
Yeah,
right.
I think for
although I think in that version, the his dog pet wouldn't look like a penis.
Ula. I liked it. I thought it was creepy and weird. It looked like a Gila monster meets a toad
with a giant penis head.
Well, that's where your brain went. I didn't see it.
No, that's what it looks like.
Sure, Daren. And
I know you're probably not familiar with I know you're not familiar with what a large penis head looks like.
No, because I'm straight, but I guess you are. What does this look like to you? By the way, folks, I'm holding up a large black pen. Anyway.
That's the way I like my pens.
Upright, large, never mind. For those of you listening who are deeply offended, I blame Daren. With his penis-obsessed Ula fantasy.
I'm not the one making the dog that looks like a dick. Dick dog.
Just trying to get the female audience without, just being obvious. I mean, Deja Thoris was... Well, we were talking earlier about Disney being they were the princess company.
Yes.
Which is why they swung so hard out of that. Like, they got so much shit. Like, everyone's a damsel in distress. There's no strong women. Belle was like, well, she was book smart. Little Mermaid. And they made billions off that. And then they did Frozen and made billions. It's like, see, when you do that, it's good. Why are you sticking...
So, obviously, when we make Star Wars, we need a princess there, too.
Well, there was a princess in it.
Yeah, there was. Not anymore.
Yeah, Bikini Princess did really well, as I recall. Yeah, I know. Well, look, I'm fine with Rey and that idea. I think they botched it with,
because all the other characters just, they took a dump.
Yeah. Well, did you watch Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I haven't watched it. People say it was good, and it was,
It's interesting because there's a couple things that tie in directly to Captain EO.
I know. That's one of them.
Which is fascinating.
which annoys me, is the blue elephant guy. I'm like, that is the dumbest. They're literally turning it into a Fisher Price character. That bummed me out because I mean, even though there were silly characters in Star Wars, I mean, I worked on Jedi, which had a lot of them.
Yeah,
But at least they seemed somewhat believable as a weird. And this thing's just, oh, it's Elephant Head Boy. I mean, there's no two ways about it. They just went, nah, let's just do that. Because I guess he's related to Snorky or whatever from Captain EO.
Hooter. That's Hooter.
Yeah,
Snorky is from Banana Split.
I know, but I just didn't remember his name.
Do you know?
Blue Elephant, Snorky.
The command thinks we're a bunch of losers. I liked Captain EO. Let's talk about Captain EO for a second.
Oh, boy.
I thought Captain EO was fun.
It was, especially how old were you when it came out? 12, 14? I mean, I don't know.
No, I was 19.
Okay. I thought it was Michael Jackson and it was fun, but I was like, not for me, but I'm not going to hate on it. I just thought, okay. It was cute.
Sure.
Joe Johnson did second unit on that.
Yes, he did.
He had some interesting stories.
I'll bet.
Yeah. Huh, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, make that a movie. But
I did make it a movie.
Well, make it a feature film.
A 13-minute long movie.
Right, a feature film. We were going to, when I was at Disney Imagineering, we were going to use Michael Jackson in a ride we were designing where they were going to, I was like, but isn't he Captain EO? They were going to have an alien. They were going to basically mocap Michael doing his shtick and put it on an alien body, humanoid alien.
Uh-huh.
And Danny Elfman was going to write the score, and Michael was going to write the song for it. And they were all very excited, and they were making the deals, and it all fell apart. But my point was getting back to Disney and princess stuff. They got a lot of grief.
We were talking about Disney and princesses.
Well, we are.
With Captain EO.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I
don't think you did.
I did. It's a bit minty. But the swing back was like, we need boy stuff. So they bought Star Wars and they bought Pixar because they were kicking their ass in animation.
Right.
They bought Star Wars because that's the biggest boy franchise. And then Marvel.
And they bought Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, but
although Marvel was first.
Yes. And after their first out of the gate Iron Man, they were like, holy crap, we did the right thing. And then they started going, and I don't know.
Again, because it wasn't that expensive, that first one, they let them do it, even though it was a train wreck. They had script problems.
Oh, to make it. Yeah. Well, there's Jeff Bridges' stories about I sat down with whoever and we're writing the script, because
what are we going to do at the end, man?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Tony.
He built all this in a cave, man.
But that movie completely hinged on Robert Downey just making you love that character.
Well, and the actual the first 3/4 of the script were great.
Yeah, and Favreau knew what he was doing. I mean, he
did.
He knew it was about the character, not about the hardware. And then you get more and more, and they just keep in the Spider-Man, which was kind of the evergreen. I like Spider-Man. I don't get the passion for Spider-Man as a franchise. I like Spider-Man. I liked it even when I read comics, but it wasn't like. I mean, I thought Thor Ragnarok was the perfect, fun, taking that Taika, and then he kind of shit the bed with the Love and Thunder, but they let him just do whatever he wanted. But Ragnarok was a perfect.
Ragnarok was fun. I think it was a little too goofy for me.
Oh, I liked the goof because I'm like, it's such a silly world, the world of Valhalla and the Norse gods, that to me the silliness makes it go, okay, we're not doing the DC. We're going to take this, Superman is dark and Batman is dark and everyone's dark. Like, I thought the Nolan Batman movies worked. I like those.
I love the Nolan Batman movies.
Yeah, and I love
the third one.
Yes, and Tim Burton's second one, Batman Returns or whatever it was, with Michelle Pfeiffer, for the kind of more cartoony. I liked it. No, but I liked it on its own merits. Like I thought.
Can't go there with you.
Well, fine. So we disagree on two things now.
That's right.
You're wrong twice in one.
But look, I just watched Batman Begins, again
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Okay. Good for you.
And it's still great.
Is that the Tim
That's
Burton?
the first. No, that's the first one of the
Nolan.
Nolan movies.
Yeah, no, the Nolan 3 are perfect little. But again, each time someone takes a hold of that franchise, they give their own flavor. I liked Tim Burton's. I mean, I thought it was okay. I liked Keaton, but then the second one, I don't know. I loved it. Had enough comic book goofiness to it, and I loved the casting. I thought Danny DeVito and what they did with him as the Penguin was great, and Michelle Pfeiffer was fun and sexy and nuts. I don't know. It worked for me. And then it went off into Crazyland with Jim Carrey and all that, and it was just they became super cartoony, which was fine. It worked again under its own kind of here's our tone,
Right.
but the Zach what's his name Batman and all that just got the dark universe.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, is like. I know they copied the book pretty accurately, all the way down to him being in the Arctic, at the end,
Right.
boat
Right.
frozen in there. That curious.
I think if it's a direct adaptation of the book, I think people are going to be really disappointed.
Well, they'll be
People who haven't read the book.
bored out of their mind because it's not even the Universal's Frankenstein.
No.
It's very heady and like Prometheus Unbound, and
it's a mind journey.
Yes, and mainly on Victor Frankenstein, not the monster, the monsters. But I know they gave, and again, like the book, the monster speaks. He's not monosyllabic, brute. So yeah, I'm curious. Well, Guillermo's, there's an interesting story. Like they gave him, what was his first big movie in the U.S.? It was a Mimic. Right. It was kind of a mess. It was an interesting idea that was a little silly, but you're like, okay, giant cockroaches that can look like a guy with a hat.
Yeah.
His movies are hit and miss. I loved Hellboy 1, but like perfect movie.
Yeah.
Hellboy 2 was a mess. Still fun, but you're like, okay, the Golden Army. And then 3, well, then they started making the different Hellboys, and it was like, nah.
How many Hellboys do we need?
Well, if you stuck with the first one and kind of the Abe Sapien and that trio of Abe, Hellboy, and Liz, I think you could have made 3 movies with those 3. Well, they tried, and have a perfect kind of little trilogy. But Guillermo's interesting. Like I watched his streaming series, his anthology series, and there were like 6 of them, and I thought 2 were great, 2 were mediocre, and 2 were just like, okay, well, that was a loss. But they're all fun. I mean, at least there's a guy, and he has his own. Well, he's having an auction of Bleak House.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, I can't believe. I mean, I guess he either needs the money, but I think he was saying all the money's going to the charity
for the fire
victims. Yeah, and I guess he
obviously he has too much crap.
Oh, he's got an entire house full of it. I mean, I have a house full of crap, but I also have to live in it. Bleak House was just he bought a house to put all his crap in. I'm like, oh man, that's the clever thing because it's a write-off. That's what I should do. I just keep this house. I keep all my crap in and just get a smaller house up in
wherever
the Pacific Northwest and say, yeah, this is my workhouse, man.
This is my bat cave, man.
This is where I make the movies. Yeah. And then there's
I'm an excellent driver.
Definitely an excellent driver. So Guillermo's an interesting outlier.
Yeah.
Cameron has, he's the guy that he just does whatever he wants.
Well, he doesn't really care about movies anymore. He just wants to do adventurous stuff.
Well, he's made 3 Avatars, so
I know. He doesn't care about movies.
I don't know the man. I mean, he still likes diving, going to the Titanic, and I will give him a lot of credit for he didn't just sit back on his laurels. He invented better 3D and all right, I've got the money. I mean, he and Lucas and Peter Jackson. I mean, that's what creative people do. They go, "Oh, I got a shit ton of money. I'm not going to buy a gold toilet.
Yeah, I'm going to roll it into the company and see what else
and make cool shit because now I can hire really smart people." And again, Lucas, Jackson, Guillermo del Toro to some degree, Jim Henson, and that's coming back to full circle of what Disney does wrong is they hire a franchise built by somebody, and in the case of Henson, he'd passed away, obviously.
Right.
And Lucas, they're like, we're buying it from you. And I guess George was like, good, give me the money. I don't care anymore. But even they didn't even listen to him as a
consultant.
Although with the first three, I could see why. The prequels were god awful. And that was done on his own dime. There was no studio giving him notes. So, I mean, that's where the Jim Henson thing was. Jim made more failures than he made hits.
Right.
It's just the hits were so big, we forgive him. And the failures were creatively accepted and kind of marveled at. And now they're kind of little gems. But again, at the time, I guess over time they made money. I mean, I hope they did. I know they didn't in the day they were released.
That brings up the question: who is the next Maverick? Where are they? Where are they going to come from? Because it's a big question. I think that's what everybody's sort of waiting for.
I know. I was talking with a friend last week, saying, "Are we kind of like where we were in 1970 when the big studio stuff had become bloated and we're
right?"
You know, hello, Dolly.
When they started bringing in young, inexperienced directors
who
for
had
cheap to make $1 million movies.
Right. They brought in Coppola, although Coppola was kind of in the machine.
No, Coppola was earlier. But
but he was in the machine with did Finian's Rainbow but then he did Rain People and started. But it was Scorsese and De Palma.
Lucas.
Well, Lucas was his own weird little track.
No, Lucas was in with Coppola, and he was one of these directors that they.
But American Graffiti is what put him on the map because THX was like a weird studio.
Yeah, but that's what he made in 1970. THX.
Right, but it wasn't a studio film. Of
course it was. It was a Warner Brothers movie. Yeah, funded by Warner Brothers.
Under Coppola's.
But Warner Brothers hired Zoetrope to make movies.
Right. Okay. That's what I mean. But again, he had a creative. He had Francis saying, "Okay, I don't think."
Well, he had Francis running defense.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Warner Brothers would have read THX and said, "Oh, this is a green light." Although he did it for $1 million or $500,000.
Yeah, he did it for practically nothing.
But
then they came in at the end and recut it on him.
Right. Now,
and he never forgave them.
American Graffiti was he did that for next to nothing. He got all these unknown stars. And
the most expensive thing was the soundtrack. Yeah,
exactly. Getting all the rights. But that blew out of the water, and that's what got him Star Wars. Was at least correct. But who are we're talking about who are the young Mavericks. I mean, Guillermo del Toro's kind of one. Ryan Coogler, I think, was Sinner.
Maybe. Yeah.
What I'm curious about is what's coming out of YouTube and AI. I mean, I would like to be. I mean, I'm not a young up and comer, but I like the freedom of using AI to flesh out an idea to then go sell it. Now, the question is, how far do you have to go? I bring up Has-Been Hotel as an example. The gal I brought up before, she had this show she put on YouTube anime, kind of, I don't know, it was Flash, but it was really great design. Animation wasn't going to, win any awards. But she did this thing called Hell of a Boss about working in hell. And it was cute and cartoony and sort of its own style, a little bit of like Invader Zim. I forget that designer, but kind of spiky, but fun.
Yeah. And
she did it with a few friends and put out a few episodes and got like literally 1 million views. And Amazon saw it, or Netflix, I think it was Amazon, and said, we want that. You did this on your own. And what I'm told is they don't give her a lot of notes. If you get an Amazon deal, they kind of let you make your show. I've heard the same about Netflix. Having done one Netflix show, they were really hands-off. They were really hands-on in the beginning. Okay, go make your show, which was great. And then we got way more notes from NBC Universal, who was producing it. And the Henson Company all the things that I balked at were from those two entities.
Yeah.
Because they don't know comedy. Christine was great. Actually, a friend of mine just said, "Hey, I'm building puppets for Christine McConnell." I was like, really? Yeah. I mean, she's got enough money with her Patreon. She can do her own show now. So she's another example of, she did it on Instagram with her little baking things.
Right.
I don't diminish it. They're amazing. and she deserves all the credit. She's really talented. But that kind of example of like just get a couple friends or do it on your own, and that's where AI for me is a tool that can help me create visuals and even animated moments that I just don't have the money to hire friends or even the skill to do it myself, except design, create. I'm more like
an overseer.
Yeah, well, like Guillermo del Toro or Jim Henson. Like Jim Henson was not a great artist. He had great ideas and he could sketch it out. I'm kind of the same. I mean, I'm not saying I'm Jim Henson level, but I'm not somebody. I'm really good at getting ideas and all that. I mean, that's what Jim Henson hired me for, was my ideas and my mediocre artistic skills. But I always said I'm a designer, not an illustrator. Like I can come up with a design and draw it enough that someone could make it. So for me, YouTube, which is still free. I mean, all these free tools now, which I've talked about: YouTube, Blender, and Unreal Engine, and now the very inexpensive AI, which allows you to create. I mean, the stuff you can do now, where you film yourself and then you change yourself into whoever you want.
Yeah,
it really excited me. Part of the reason I kind of want to take the next few months off and just play around with it and kind of learn, okay, this is how you do stuff, and then just spit out ideas, or like, here's a concept, or even do Kickstarter. Like, here's my idea. If I can get, $50 grand, I'll make it. And if nothing happens, then whatever, it doesn't matter. But then that's how you become your own studio. And that's sort of where I want to go, because at the end of the day, Disney's not going to do it. And if Disney did buy it, they just either, what they do is like, well, here's $1 million for your idea, and now maybe we'll let you work on it. I mean, that's how it's always been. Once you get the money, you lose control.
Yep.
So, again, that's what's most exciting for me as a creative weirded beardo.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Weirded Beardos.
I can't do it because he says we'll get kicked off because we don't
That's right.
Music.
That's right.
Imagine a bunch of hillbillies going like this
near Beverly Hills.
Yeah, in that general vicinity.
In that area.
Well, English, I hope this was
part of the Hooterville trilogy. The Hooterville trilogy just was lacking Amish people. I think we can bring that magic to them.
Mennonites.
Why?
It was Beverly Hills.
Mennonite.
It was Hillbillies, Green Acres, and Petticoat.
Petticoat Junction, yeah.
Those are the three. There's an interesting. I've thought about that. Like, nobody's doing the rural American comedies.
No, because CBS put the kibosh on it in 1970.
Well, but I mean, have we even had? I mean, the closest would be like Jim Varney movies, Ernest.
No, that's just dumb.
But it was hillbilly kind of humor. I mean, there was the redneck comedy tour, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, so it does sell well. Hee Haw was the number one running.
Huge.
Was the number one running show in America for like 28 seasons, 25 seasons. Yeah. It was longer running than anything else until The Simpsons came along.
Right. So maybe The Simpsons is what is offered for rural America.
Well, no, it makes fun of them too much.
What?
Yeah.
And Hee Haw didn't make fun of them.
It was laughing with them. I think Simpsons laughs at them.
Oh.
Well, they got the characters that talk like me and Ma, and their kids are idiots and, eating glue, and you're like...
The slack-jawed yokel.
Yep, exactly. And
speaking of slack-jawed yokels, we will see you next time. I can't guarantee when we're going to be back because we both have crazy...
Very popular. Very famous.
Well, Kirk is very famous and popular.
Stop. Really? Do you think so?
Nope. But...
I agree. I was like, do I owe you money? You owe me money?
But, we'll try to record. It's just very difficult with our
big words. Or the computer can't hold our big words. We have to go down to monosyllabic stuff.
So we'll try and see you next time.
We won't see you at all, Daren. We can't see them. They can see us. We can't see them. You've been misinformed.
I can see them.
What? Wait, what's she wearing? The one that.
Not a heck of a lot.
Woo! All right.
So whenever we come back, we'll be glad to be here for you.
For you. Because we do this all for you.
For you. Yeah.
And for shits and giggles.
Well, it's mostly shits and giggles. I'll have to.
If my eyes were any slittier, I would just look like I'm sleeping. Damn Northern European genes. I need to move where it snows a lot. Then it would actually be helpful to have eyes like snow goggles.
Wow.
It's true, though. Look at them. When I smile, my cheeks blind me. I can't see.
I'm blinded by cheeks.
Mom, I'm blind. She blinded me with fat cells. All right. Enough of this nonsense.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see
Love
you next time.
Thanks for listening to Daren's blather and my important insights into the world of showbiz.
Indeed. Take care.
The Weirded Beardos are Kirk Thatcher and Daren Doctorman. Email them at theweirdedbeardos@gmail.com.